Well, hello, students. This is Professor DeChico, and I am looking forward to teaching this exciting new class in the fall. Basically, the class involves discovering the leader in you. And what is it about, and why is it different? Well, I've taught for many years at Curry leadership as a professor, and I've used a lot of guest speakers in my class. And there were leaders from all different walks of life. And I wanted the class to really get a feel of how different leaders were successful and how they operated as far as being able to not only lead themselves, but lead others through the example that they set. So, being a firm believer that leadership starts from within oneself, and having authored a book called The Leadership Gene, meaning that I believe in everyone, there is some type of a gene that entices us to lead. It's basically a reflection of who we are and how we operate. Sometimes what we believe in never comes to fruition because we don't get that opportunity to get into the psyche of those that we want to lead. It isn't that they don't believe us, it isn't that they don't think we have passion, but more it is that they feel that we don't have a connection with ourselves as much as we're trying to build a connection with them. So, discovering the leader in oneself is what this book is about. It's a book behind strategic planning, behind vision, behind mission, behind strategy. It's what drives an organization, whether that be a municipal organization, or whether it be a corporation, or even your own family unit. When you think about it, what type of a plan would you have for your family if they weren't successful at what they did, if they had no direction from you? So we're looking at followership and successorship here. It's really important to be a good follower so you can eventually become a good leader and help those that are going to succeed you. Yes, successorship isn't all about you, it's about those that continue your legacy. But do you have that inside of you? Do you have that inside of you to drive other people so that not only you get the benefit, but they do as well? In order to do that, you have to find passion in yourself. And others will discover that passion because it is contagious. One of the reasons why Steve Jobs was so successful, although, as we know, it's reported that he had many tyrannical tirades because he had so much passion that led him to the point of tears. Because what he felt and what he thought, he wanted others to get involved in the same thing. And he wanted them to feel what he felt. And this is why we're looking at a company today that's worth billions and billions of dollars, where his ideas came from a train station. Yes, he was sleeping in a train station. If you read his story, his ideas couldn't just live in his head, he had to sell it. If you look at Ray Kroc, who actually did not invent what happened with McDonald's, that automation, that way people didn't have to wait for 15, 20 minutes and an hour. He was sick of doing that when he had a mundane, dead end job as a traveling salesman. He saw something. He had passion. He had compulsion. And eventually turned McDonald's into the billion-dollar enterprise it is today. His legacy continues. Although Ray Kroc and Steve Jobs are no longer with us, their legacies continue. The effects of faulty decision making, we're going to talk about that in this course. When we make mistakes, how do we correct them? How do we become accountable for those mistakes? And more or less, how do we bring others to the right path when those mistakes are made? We have to talk about our take on diversity and multiculturalism. It is very much a part of our global organization today. We have to understand about power. Power isn't about you as a leader. Power isn't about controlling and manipulating others. Power, if used wisely, transcends into the psyche of others because it isn't about powering you, it's about empowering those that you work with. We want to know about how we use power to motivate our teams. How do we get them to empower themselves so they can become proficient and efficient when we are around and when we're not around? And there's that good old human motivation. What motivates us? When we get up in the morning, before we go to do whatever we do, what gets us going? If you can figure that out, then you can figure out what can get others going. And then we do have legal and ethical responsibilities. Someone once said, with great power comes great responsibility. So this is what this course is about. It's different. It's a hybrid. It's motivational. You're going to do a lot of different discussions. We're going to get into role play. We're going to get leaders from all different facets, have them talk to us, and we're going to talk to them. But none of this can happen, and I can't get this over to you unless you sign up for the course. So do it. Make it happen. And take on something that you could share with one another going forward. Looking forward to seeing you in class. Professor DeChico.